what I'm trying to do, I'm going to turn into a sort of teacher now. What I'm going to try to do, and most of the time when I've mentioned it a few times in the session, is I'm really thinking about what we know about our brains. And I've talked a little bit already about this, but I'm just going to give us a picture of it. What I'm trying to do all the time when I'm with you is to, if you like, I'm working like a gym for a particular part of our brains, mine included, and it's this part of our brain. It's just over your eyes, if that's your eye, and there's your nose. Okay, there's this part of the brain that's up here, and it's a part of the brain that's very, very new. We're pretty much the only member of the animal species that's got this part. Okay, and it's the part of the brain that, if I could pretend to be it, it kind of sort of looks like this is that kind of, I wonder if it could be, I wonder if they mean this, what if this, It's the sort of wondering part that only works rather quietly, but it's how we make sense of why people behave in the way that they do. By imagining what it'd be like to be in their shoes. And indeed, sometimes I have to use that to make sense of why I've done the things I've done. Why did I do that? I always keep doing that. Why do I? So I can use this part of the brain to make sense of me, or I can use it to try to make sense of you guys. And you all have this part of the brain. But you also have another part of the brain, I should have put them in the other colours, which is a bit further back here. And this is a part of the brain that all animals have. And it's the part of the brain that helps me survive if something like a tiger is kind of coming towards me. It helps me feel very, very sort of strongly and kind of run away or fight people or kind of do things. And this part of the brain is always very certain. It always knows. It knows.
That's your instinct.
That is very much an instinct. Okay. It's very much a kind of instinct part of my brain. And the problem that we have for all human beings, your family, I can reassure you, is entirely normal, just like me and my family and everybody else's family, is that when we get upset, this part of the brain goes to volume 10, but this part of the brain only goes to about volume 2. Okay, it's the kind of whispering part of the brain. And that's a problem when we're trying to sort out these complicated things like, why does Becky behave in the way that she behaves? Or for you, why doesn't my daughter Georgina understand that I'm trying to do these things? For you, Melissa, why don't people understand what it feels like to be so panicky and anxious at these times? And so at those times, this part of the brain, you can't hear it. All you hear is these noisy bits that get very certain. So what I'm trying to do when I'm working with you is just always to give a bit of room for this part of our brains, because this is the kinds of part of the brain we're most likely to get new understandings about each other that might help us just change things a little bit in a way that makes sense to you guys. So when I do my interrupting, or my silly jokes, my not very funny jokes, or my games that might seem a little bit kind of out of keeping with how serious this is, the point is always just to try to kind of calm things down, give us some rules, keep it straightforward, so that we can get this part back online. And that's just to explain sort of some of, in a rather boring way, being a teacher, isn't it? But why I behave in the way that I do.